Hello, I'm Richie Bowers. I'm the fire chief in Montgomery County, Maryland, a combination department of about 2,000 career and volunteer personnel. This is a great opportunity for me to be involved with Firehouse Expo with other colleagues to teach and present on several different subjects. I first want to commend Firehouse Expo staff for putting on such a wonderful and terrific program. This is a great training opportunity, it's a great networking opportunity, and it's a great learning opportunity. And I am so thrilled to be here, being able to present and share information with fellow firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, chief officers, training officers of the like. Just a fantastic privilege and a fantastic opportunity. I'd like to take a few moments and recognize some of my other fellow instructors that I'll be presenting with. Lieutenant Mike Wilbur from New York City Fire Department will be doing some training on driver training along with some of my staff. Assistant Chief Mike Clemens from the Training Academy here in Montgomery County, as well as Captain Darrell Walker, who is our driver training instructor for the entire county. We have a wonderful program that I'll go over in a minute about how we're going to interact with the students as well as present some much needed and important information. Secondly, with a colleague of mine from Prince William County, Virginia, Battalion Chief Jenny Collins and I will be doing some other instruction and presenting regarding common threads of firefighter injuries and line of duty deaths, as well as medical success stories. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those presentations here very shortly. But going back to the first presentation, that I'll have the opportunity to interact with some of the participants here at Firehouse Expo, along with Lieutenant Mike Wilbur and staff from Montgomery County Fire Rescue Training Academy. We're going to have the opportunity to present a class called Driving with Your Hands, Feet, and Eyes. And really the program focuses on several things. The first is it's a privilege to drive an emergency vehicle. And that's the first thing that everybody has to understand, is there's a huge amount of responsibility associated with that. And we're going to talk about that with all the students in our presentation, because too many times civilians and firefighters are injured with firefighters responding to and even returning from calls. So driving an emergency apparatus, a large piece of apparatus, or an EMS unit is an extremely responsible thing to do, and we have to make sure that we focus on that. In addition to that, certainly there's the behavior piece of this. These are heavy apparatus that we're going to be driving down the street and asking for the right, if you will, to go through intersections and have people pull out of the way. And we want to understand what those parameters are. And we want to talk about how to develop a program that addresses the behavior aspects and then the skills associated with that. The driver training program that we're going to present at Firehouse Expo focuses in on those things. There's also a component that has a practical skill level in it. And this seems to be very, very challenging for all the individuals, but they learn a lot when they participate in this class regarding how to handle a vehicle and what to expect, and then the different types of skills that are needed for heavy apparatus drivers or EMS drivers. This class will talk about all that. It will give the participant the opportunity to understand what needs to be in a driver training program, what skills need to be in the driver training program. And the participants will walk away with a better understanding, a better feeling, and they'll feel more competent and confident about a driver training package that includes program delivery of lecture materials and program delivery that involves skills, practical skills that every driver needs to have. So we're very fortunate to have some experts, if you will, in the field of driver training, sharing that information with other participants from Firehouse Expo. We hope to see you there. We certainly want everyone to participate in this one training program that can begin to reduce firefighter line of duty deaths and injuries. About 25% of our firefighters are killed every year in vehicle type collisions or vehicle type incidents. And one of the first ways to potentially avoid that is to wear a seat belt all the time. And we'll talk about that in the presentation too. So we look forward to seeing everybody there. We look forward to presenting the class, and we look forward to sharing the information. Another class that I'm very proud to be able to deliver with a colleague from Prince William County, Battalion Chief Collins and I, we're going to talk about some case studies that involve some very serious firefighter injuries and line of duty deaths. Unfortunately, in the nation's fire and EMS service, we're seeing some trends. These case studies that we'll deliver in our discussion on common threads of firefighter injuries and line of duty deaths really focus on what's happening on a repetitive basis. And that's what we need to begin to look at. We need to begin to look at what is occurring most often. And these common threads really hit you right between the eyes. This is a very powerful discussion and presentation in which we actually put a face to an incident in which these firefighters have been injured or even killed. And in this presentation of common threads of firefighter injuries and line of duty deaths, one thing that is common throughout all the case studies that we go through is the fact that there is a mayday. And these maydays are very compelling, they're very serious, and we can learn from these unfortunate circumstances that these firefighters and fire officers were involved in and exposed to. And that's the whole purpose of this class and presentation, is to really focus on lessons learned from these near misses. This is, as I said, a very compelling presentation. It is very direct, and the participants are going to learn a lot from participating in this class with respect to understanding what's happening nationally, regionally, and locally in the nation's fire and EMS service. And I think what every one of the participants will be able to take away from this class, and at the very least what Chief Collins and I want everyone to have the opportunity to take away, is lessons learned, and so that we can prevent firefighter injuries and line of duty deaths. And that's the whole purpose behind this class at Firehouse Expo. You could take your patch off of your department and put it right on any one of the case studies that we're going to be speaking of. And again, the lessons learned from each of them are far-reaching beyond any of the departments that are going to be in the case studies. They're far-reaching to the nation's fire and EMS service. So both Chief Collins and I look forward to presenting. We look forward to having everyone in the class on common threads of firefighter injuries and line of duty deaths. And we look forward to everybody learning from the lessons learned from these incidents so that we can prevent those injuries to firefighters and line of duty deaths. And the other class that we have the distinct honor and privilege of presenting here at Firehouse Expo this year, between July 20th and 24th of 2010, is medical success screening stories. And this really focuses on the #1 killer of firefighters line of duty deaths, and that is cardiovascular issues. Those cardiovascular issues can be identified and treated ahead of time through a very aggressive medical screening program or process. In this presentation that we have the opportunity to present at Firehouse Expo, both Chief Collins and I will also be presenting this, really focuses on what is needed in the fire and EMS service here in the United States, and how the preventative and comprehensive program of medical screening can save lives and injuries, but most importantly, save lives of firefighters. So we'll talk about certain programs that have been developed, certain programs that have been implemented, and then the direct result of medical success and saves as a result of those programs, medical screening programs that have, if you will, contributed to saving firefighters' lives. This is one of the most important things that we can share with everybody here at this conference, is just how much a comprehensive medical screening program can do in terms of make a difference in the lives of firefighters and even their families. You know, certainly what we want from everyone in the nation's fire and EMS service is for everyone to go home. So again, those are three very powerful presentations that I have, along with my colleagues, as I said, the opportunity to present this year at Firehouse Expo here in Baltimore, Maryland. Again, the dates between July 20th and 24th, and it is certainly an honor and privilege to be associated with this conference, as many of the other instructors and presenters are also very honored and privileged to be here. But we want everyone to learn, we want everyone to participate, we want everyone to be challenged, and we want everyone to take away lessons learned and if you will, tools for the toolbox from their learning experiences here at Firehouse Expo. Maximize your opportunity and maximize your education while you're here at Firehouse Expo. And certainly maximize the opportunity to network with your colleagues. That's probably one of the biggest benefits, along with the others that I mentioned, that you take away from this conference here in Baltimore, Maryland this year at Firehouse Expo from July 20th to the 24th. I look forward to seeing you. I hope that maybe we can chat during the presentation, obviously, but even after that, as we tour the conference area and attend the training sessions, as well as the displays with the vendors at Firehouse Expo this year. Be safe, learn, continue to train, 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 and by all means, make sure that everybody goes home. Thank you.